Hey guys, John Rettinger here. Today I'm going to show you how to download and install Windows 7 on your Intel-based Mac. So before you get started, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a USB mouse. You're going to need a USB keyboard. Wireless, Bluetooth won't work. Wireless will work. You've got a USB dongle that attaches to your computer. You're going to need your initial Mac install disks that came with your Intel-based Mac. This will only work with Intel-based Mac. You're going to need a blank DVD. You're going to need a copy of Windows 7, which I'll show you how to get. You're going to need to be running OS X Leopard. That's really it. You're going to have some hard drive space available on your computer. Other than that, installing is actually very easy via Boot Camp. So, stick around and I will show you guys step by step how to do it. Hope you enjoy. Bye-bye. Alright guys, so before we get started, you're going to need to download Windows 7 Release Candidate, which is actually a free download. It's a great way to have Windows on your computer for free and run it well into 2010 before you're forced to upgrade. So you're going to have to go to Microsoft.com/Windows-7/download.aspx. And I'll put a link to this in the sidebar, so no need to worry. You'll scroll down to where it says download. Now, your Mac is capable of fully running the 64-bit version. However, the drivers that come with your computer don't have full support for 64-bit Windows. So while you can find patches to run 64, I think downloading the 32-bit version will just make life easier for you. So go ahead and select English, and you'll hit go, and you'll be prompted to answer a few questions and log in with a Windows Live ID. If you don't have that, not a problem. It'll prompt you to sign up for one. You'll get an email link, you'll click it, and you'll be prompted to download Windows 7. Make sure you write down the serial number, though, that you'll have on your download screen, and that is it. It'll burn in an ISO format that will look just like this. It'll say 71 something, a whole bunch of numbers, .iso. So make sure you have that. So guys, that is step one. Alright guys, so now that we've downloaded Windows 7, you're going to need to burn that to a disk that your computer can read and install, a bootable disk. And this is actually very easy with OS X. You'll go to your applications folder, wherever you might have that, go to utilities, you'll go to disk utility rather, open that up. You'll go to file, open disk image. You'll find the ISO file that you just downloaded, and you'll hit open. I'm going to give it a second. And now that ISO image shows up right down here. You go ahead and select it, and you'll just hit burn. And that's it. Obviously, you put in a DVD, you hit burn, give it 5-10 minutes, however long it takes your super drive to do it. You burn it, and you're good to go. While it's burning, I recommend writing down the serial number that you got while you were installing. Alright guys, so now that we've downloaded and burnt the ISO image of Windows 7, we're now ready to partition our computer for install. And I should mention before you do this, make sure you have your computer backed up through the backup method of your choice. I use Time Machine and I just did a full backup just to make sure and to protect myself in case something should happen. So again, we'll go to Applications and Utilities. This time though, however, we're going to go to Boot Camp, scroll down, Boot Camp Assistant, open it up, and it gives you an introduction. You may want to actually print this installation and setup guide. I'm going to go ahead and hit Continue, and you've got the choice to set up your partition as big as you want. You can drag it to as big as 104 gigabytes. I'm probably going to carve off, say 16 gigs sounds decent. Alright guys, so unfortunately we've had to go handy cam. I can't record my screen anymore since we're about to go off of Mac and start the Windows installation. So once you are done partitioning, you're going to want to hit Start Installation. And make sure you have your DVD that we burned in previous steps already put into your disk drive. And I should mention that now is a great time to make sure you have a full backup of your computer. I don't expect you'll have any problems, but it's always a good idea to have a backup using the method of your choice. I personally use Time Machine. So we'll hit Start Installation. Your computer will shut down and restart in Windows, which is actually very cool. And now you'll be greeted by a Windows is loading files message. You guys can see me in the reflection there. You'll have a status bar that will move across the screen. And at this point, you don't have to touch anything. This is all automated. And then you'll get a starting Windows logo with the Windows Mobile rainbow pulsating in the middle. And I'll leave this here in real time so you guys can see what this will look like. Now make sure you plug in your external keyboard and mouse if you're using a desktop. If you're using a laptop, you're not going to have to do that. So we're going to want to go ahead and select your language, time and currency, and your keyboard and input method. We'll go ahead and hit Next. Hit Install Now. It's going to start your setup, and you're going to have a whole bunch of drives you can choose from to install on. And this step can be a little bit tricky, so make sure you pay close attention. One thing that I really do love about Macs is the ability to run both natively. Sometimes you need Windows, sometimes you just want to play around in Windows. I like the ability to have it. Although the times that I go into Windows are few and far between, it is kind of fun to just play around and explore and even have both should you need it. So you've got your terms. You want to go ahead and give these a read. We'll hit Next. Now here's where you want to pay close attention. If you already have a version of Windows installed via Boot Camp, you're going to want to hit Upgrade. If you don't have a version installed, like me, you're going to want to hit Custom. So we'll do that, and now you really want to make sure that you choose the right partition. We have quite a mess of disk partitions here. So you'll have one that is very clearly labeled Boot Camp. It says Boot Camp right there. Now, you'll notice that this next button is grayed out. I can't click it. So I want to hit Drive Options, and I want to hit Format. And this will format it for NTFS. Nothing that you guys got to know, but just know that you want to hit Format and make sure your Boot Camp partition is selected. You can check the gigabyte size next to it to make sure it's close to what you initially partitioned it as. This one right here is 280 gigs, so I know that's my main hard drive. I don't want to partition that. Okay, and we'll go ahead and hit Format. Partition may contain recovery files. It will be lost if you want to go ahead and continue. We want to go ahead and hit OK. And now it's going to go ahead and format. It's going to continue to guide us through the installation process. This may take a few minutes, or in this case it was very quick. It's all formatted. Now this next button can be selected. And again, make sure that you're selecting the right one before you proceed. So we'll hit Next. And this is going to guide us through the rest of the installation process. And right here is pretty standard Windows. It's going to copy your files, it's going to expand Windows files, install features, installing updates, and completing installation. At this point, you don't have to sit here and watch unless you're curious, but you can see the percentage right there, and that'll change as you go through. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and let the installation continue, and the next time it requires any sort of user prompts, turn the camera back on so you guys will be able to follow along. Alright guys, so about 20 minutes has passed and I haven't had to touch anything yet. I now have a note on my screen that says Setup is checking video performance and getting ready for first boot. Here is Windows 7 Ultimate, and here's when you have to enter your computer name and necessary processes. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, now you have the option for installing important updates. You can install all of them, only the vital ones, or ask me later. I will ask me later. Go ahead and put in the date and time. Currently it's 5:43 in California on May 13th. Today is actually my mom's birthday. I'm about to meet my parents for dinner after I finish filming this. Go ahead and hit Next, and you can go ahead and put in your network settings. So I just typed in my network password, and this computer is connected to a network. Windows automatically apply the correct network settings based on the network's location. If you're not sure, use a public network. So this is a home network. Connects to my network and applying my settings. And this is actually a very quick and painless process. I'm relatively impressed thus far with the Windows 7 installation. So we'll see what happens here if it connects. Finalizing my settings, Windows 7 Ultimate. Get my welcome screen. And we should have Windows just about installed, but we're not done yet in getting this to work. There is still one very important step left. Right now it's preparing the desktop. We'll see how long this takes. And that's it. I now have Windows 7 running on my computer. But we're not done yet. We need to eject the install disk. And unfortunately, my wireless keyboard doesn't work yet, so this eject button right here doesn't do anything. So this isn't going to be a demo of Windows 7. When you install, you can play it with yourself. Go ahead and hit the Start menu. We'll go to Computer. And we'll find the CD drive, which is right there. We'll right click, and we want to hit Eject. Alright, so you take that disk out. We're not going to need that again, but now what we are going to need, the install disks that came with your Mac. So I'll go ahead and take it out here. And I've got iMac, Mac OS X disk, install disk number 1. So this has all the necessary Windows drivers on it, and the same Vista drivers that work for Windows 7, so this should be nice and simple. So go ahead and put that in. And this will make Bluetooth work, it'll just make all the drivers in the computer function properly. And they'll recognize it in just a moment. And we want to run setup.exe. I don't generally recommend running .exes, but since it's directly from Apple, it's okay. Program name Boot Camp from Apple Inc. We want to go ahead and hit yes and allow the computer to make changes. Preparing to install. And it's going to go ahead and install the drivers. I'll show you guys what that looks like just very quickly, and then I'll turn the camera off so you don't have to be bored sitting here watching. This program has known compatibility issues. That's okay. Run program. Welcome to Boot Camp Installer. Be guided through the steps necessary to install Boot Camp. It's great. Hit next. We'll accept. Hit next again. And hit install. Preparing to install. And now it's going to go through and install all the drivers. And you'll see down here, it'll say what it's installing as you go through and do this on your own. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch all this. Alright guys, so about 6 minutes and 1 restart later, all my drivers have been installed. And it's kind of cool as you're installing, you see all these new things show up right here. So now the sound works, the iSight camera works, Bluetooth will work. Really everything will work, which is very nice. Now there's one last step that you guys need to do. First you need to eject the disk using the same method we did before, going to Control Panel, selecting your drive and hitting eject. But your computer by default is going to boot into Windows now. Upon boot, if you hold down the Option key, you can select what operating system you boot into. But if you want to set it to boot into Mac by default, which most of you probably do, let me show you how to do that. Go to Control Panel, hit System and Security. Down at the bottom, you'll see one now that now says Boot Camp. You're going to want to go ahead and select Boot Camp, and pulls up the, you want to allow the computer. Yes, we do. Select the system you want to use to start your computer. And I want to boot into Macintosh hard drive and hit OK. And that's it guys, you are now good. You've got a full native version of Windows 7 running on your computer. You can use it for games, whatever you want. It'll work just as well as any other dedicated PC. I'd even say even better. And you're good to go. Hope you enjoyed. And Share the word, share Windows, and if you like it, leave a comment down below. What do you think about Windows 7? Was the installation easy for you? Were these directions helpful? Are you even going to use Windows 7 after you install? For exclusive content, guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/JohnForLakers. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.